So, you want great skin texture with fewer fine lines and blemishes and pigmentation. How can you achieve this without spending excessive amounts of money? Clinics and practitioners often use dermapens or stamping devices to achieve great results using a process called microneedling. However, going to a clinic to have this done can be really expensive, but you don't need to spend hundreds of pounds or dollars in a clinic to achieve the same great benefits. Today, I'm going to share what I teach dozens of my own patients. You can achieve real, noticeable skin improvements at home using a simple technique. I'll walk you through how this technique works, why it's backed by science, and most importantly, how you can do it safely and effectively at home. Welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Sabana, a family practitioner specializing in skin and aesthetics. Before I share this at-home treatment with you, I need to explain the basics of microneedling. You can obviously skip this part if you want to and jump straight to the part where I show you how to do it. But personally, I think you should understand the science behind the technique so that you don't damage your skin. So what is microneedling? Microneedling is a cosmetic procedure. It involves devices that uses fine needles to create controlled micro-injuries in the skin. These tiny punctures stimulates the body's natural healing response, so it increases collagen and elastin production, which means improvement in skin texture, reduction in fine lines, and even helping with acne scars or even pigmentation. So overall, skin rejuvenation. Let's take a quick look at the science. When we create micro-injuries, the skin responds by producing new collagen, particularly type 3 collagen in the early stages, which then transitions into type 1 collagen, the type that's responsible for smooth, firm skin. One study showed a 206% increase in collagen production after just a single treatment. Another showed microneedling could boost epidermal cell turnover by nearly 300%, even with a shallow needle depth. More interestingly, research shows microneedling activates changes responsible for repairing the dermal-epidermal junction. That's the key structural layer that keeps your skin feeling firm and resilient. In professional clinics, the most commonly used devices are the use of an electric pen, such as a dermapen or a stamping device. Pen-style microneedling devices are shaped like a pen and have a tip with tiny needles that rapidly move in and out to puncture the skin vertically. This continues as the provider glides the pen across the face. The depth of these needles can usually be adjusted by the practitioner, and the automated motion ensures that each micropuncture is consistent and allows for even treatment results. Many patients find the pen device comfortable because the fast vibration of the needles feels like a light buzz rather than individual pinpricks. Pen-style microneedling is often praised for its speed and its ability to evenly treat larger areas like the full face or even the body. So if you look at this video, the pen is essentially being rolled over the face, while the needles are piercing the skin vertically. But if this treatment is done by the wrong person, it can actually shred your skin. Just look at how fast the pen is being rolled around the face. The other device used in clinics is the stamping style microneedling device. If you compare this with the pen, the needles are pressed straight into the skin, one section at a time, either with a motorized stamp device or a simple manual hand stamp. This technique allows targeting of specific scars or small, delicate areas because the practitioner can stamp exactly where it's needed. Stamping can sometimes feel a bit more intense than the pens, especially with manual stamping, but both approaches are usually well tolerated, and some practitioners will use numbing cream to make it more comfortable. So you can see in this video how the stamping device is being used. The practitioner really needs to pay attention to what they're doing during this treatment, as they need to ensure each patch of the skin is covered evenly and that the stamp is stamped into the skin vertically and at the right depth. Both methods are very safe and hygienic when performed by a professional. They use sterile one-use needle tips, which means there's a low risk of skin infection. The results for both these techniques can be fantastic, but going to a clinic and having these treatments done regularly can be really expensive. And this is why I think it's worth considering using an affordable and effective way to achieve similar results at home. So I recommend the Dermaroller. So what is a Dermaroller? Dermaroller is a handheld device. It's a small cylindrical roller with a handle on it, and the roller is covered with numerous tiny needles. When the Dermaroller is rolled over the skin, the small fine needles on the roller puncture the skin. This creates superficial tiny holes in the skin. By using the correct technique and needle lengths, you can safely use a Dermaroller. I'll show you shortly how you can use this at home. This is the one that I use at home. It's around £10 or around $10, and it has titanium needles. The titanium needles are more resilient and less likely to bend compared to stainless steel needles. This particular brand comes in different needle lengths, and I'll explain shortly why this is really important. So here's my guide to dermarolling at home. So let me show you the tools and what things you need before you start dermarolling. So as I showed you earlier, I've got these titanium dermarollers. I've got one in 1mm needle thickness and 0.25mm thickness. I use the 0.25mm Dermaroller under my eye area, and then the 1mm Dermaroller for the rest of the face. Always start off by cleaning your face with a gentle cleanser. Make sure your skin is nice and clean. There's no products, no sun cream, no makeup on your skin. So here's a video of me doing dermarolling at home. As you can see, I start off with the 1mm needle depth Dermaroller. When you start off with dermarolling, the most important thing is that you stretch the skin. The skin has to be nice and taut. If you are rolling over lax, loose skin, all you're doing is pushing the skin around the face and not actually getting the needle into the skin layers. When you first start off with dermarolling, you might find it quite painful. So you might think, okay, I'll start off with a shorter needle length, so 0.5 or 0.25 even, just to build up tolerance. But just remember, in order to get the full benefits of microneedling, the needle needs to get to the right depth in the right layer of your skin. So as long as you can accept that you may not notice much benefit from microneedling with a shorter needle length, then that's fine. Just start off, get used to the process and see how you can build up the tolerance with the needles. Once you're more comfortable, you can then increase the needle depth to 0.5 or 1mm depending on your skin thickness and skin laxity. But I just want to highlight, because I know some of you will be thinking, right, the deeper the needle length, the better benefits. But this is not true. Please don't go crazy and start using a 1.5mm or 2mm needle to do your dermarolling. This will just ruin your skin and cause significant damage, hyperpigmentation, and even ruin your skin barrier. Hold the Dermaroller like a paintbrush, quite gentle. You're not trying to force it into the skin. So gentle rolling action, and I'm just going up and down. So the aim is just to create some redness in the skin. You're not trying to draw blood. As I've been doing this for a while, I usually use the 1mm Dermaroller all over my cheeks, face, neck, and on my nose, and on my forehead. So now I'm going to use the 0.25mm Dermaroller to start treating the under eye area. So I'm going to use my finger to pull down the skin to ensure the under eye area is nice and tight, and then I'm using the Dermaroller doing gentle small strokes. So you can either do one long stroke under the eye, or you can do small short strokes. So when you first start off with dermarolling, you might find it too painful, and you might only manage to dermaroll over the areas for a minute. The aim isn't to draw blood, but to simply create some redness. As weeks go by, you'll be able to tolerate the process a bit better, and you might be able to get up to 5 minutes on each area. Just remember, less is more. Overdoing it can only irritate the skin and just increase your risk of post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. And remember, hygiene is vital. Ensure you wash your face well and that your Dermaroller is clean before and after use. Avoid microneedling over active acne or eczema or over broken skin. If you do have active acne, you really don't want to be microneedling over those areas, because all you'll end up doing is spreading the bacteria all over the face. And the same applies for cold sores. I recommend to my patients a 6 weeks on and 6 weeks off cycle. So you microneedle once a week for 6 weeks, and then you take a 6-week break. This allows your skin to heal fully and to make sure that you're not overdoing it. Immediately after the procedure, you can apply a simple hydrating serum. When you start off microneedling, I wouldn't recommend any actives. Your skin isn't used to it, and so your skin will be really sensitive and your skin can feel really irritated. Once you're used to the process and you become a pro, then it's great to add actives like niacinamide or retinol. Always microneedle at night. Your skin will be really sensitive, So doing it at night allows your skin to rest and recover overnight. And also there's no sun exposure, so there's less risk of causing post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Always wear SPF the next day. Your skin will be super sensitive to the sun. Most people will notice some redness on day 1, and by day 5 notice improvements in their skin texture and notice that lovely glow. But it can take months before you notice the full benefits of microneedling. So be patient and stick with it. And please never share your roller. It's a personal tool and should be treated like a toothbrush, one per person. Right, I bet you're itching to get started, but there are 3 things that you really need to think about before you start using a Dermaroller. First is the needle depth. Dermarollers come with different needle depths. Skin thickness varies across different areas of our face and body, and therefore it's important not to just buy any needle length. Around our eyes, the skin is thin. Therefore, I wouldn't use a device that is more than 0.25 millimeters. Whereas the cheeks and forehead and neck, you can try between 0.5 to 1 millimeters. I can't give you specific recommendations as it's not really safe for me to do that without examining you. This is just a general guide. Number 2 is hygiene. One of the key reasons at-home needling devices are not recommended is due to the high risk of skin infections. This is why it's vital you sterilize the roller before and after each use. I highly recommend spending a bit of money on a good antibacterial sterilizer such as Clinisept, and this is the one that I use. And number 3, making sure you change your device regularly. With each use, the needles on the Dermaroller become more and more blunt. So I always advise my patients to replace the roller after 6 to 7 uses. This ensures the needles remain sharp and effective, and it will avoid unnecessary injuries from blunt needles. And that's it, you're ready to get started. Microneedling at home is one of the most cost-effective science-backed skincare treatments available today. With consistent use and the proper technique, you can see real improvements in your skin's texture, tone, and firmness, without spending a fortune on clinic visits. There's a lot of talk about professional stamping devices or pens being much better than rollers. The common claim is that rollers insert needles at an angle, while pens and stamps go straight into the skin vertically. So the theory is that pens and stamps must be less damaging. But let's think about it. Does your skin really respond differently just because a needle enters your skin at a 45-degree angle versus a 90-degree angle? Does it somehow know which tool is being used? The research suggests it doesn't. Both techniques trigger the same wound healing cascade. What really matters is how the tool is being used, not whether it's rolled or stamped. In fact, high-speed stamping pens can sometimes cause more trauma if not used correctly, leading to what researchers describe as maceration of the tissue. This is why I would never recommend these devices to be used by anyone other than an experienced professional. A gentle, controlled approach with a Dermaroller can be just as effective, and you can do it at home. It's a reminder that you don't need the most expensive products or treatments to get professional level results. You just need the right tools, a good understanding of the process, and a little consistency. Please remember, everything in this video is just general advice. If you're not sure if dermarolling is suitable for your skin concerns, or you're not sure what needle depth to use, then you can always book a consultation with me. I can create a personalized plan for you, and you can then follow this at home. If you want to learn more about skin regeneration and the best product to help with this, then I would recommend watching this video. If you found this helpful, feel free to like and subscribe. I'll be sharing more step-by-step guides and science-based skincare advice soon. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I always try to respond. Thanks for watching.